Hey Tubies, it's Sugar. I'm fighting with this camera again. I don't have a tripod, so I have to like pile stuff up to like make a base, and then I have to put a mirror behind the camera to make sure that I'm in the shot, and it's just a big kind of pain in the ass. So that's why like I'll do a series of videos, because once I've got the camera set up, I'm not just going to do a whole bunch of videos. So anyways, this is Sugar from House of Cyanide, Sugar Cyanide. I'm going to try to do this this tarot review for the Everyday Goddess, Affirmations for the Everyday Goddess. So this would be like take 3 on this review. I've done it, I tried to review it 2 other times before today, and the camera, fighting with my original camera when the battery went out, and then the last time I got sick, like I was in the middle of filming and then just like got really, really sick. So, yeah. So, this is a cute little hairstyle. I did not cut my hair. It looks short. I know, I freaked out all my friends today. I went to a party, and my friends got freaked out because they're like, oh my god, Sugar cut her hair! No, I didn't cut my hair. It's a cute little style that I kind of like combined like 2 other styles or tutorials that I'd seen online, and made my own. And so it's kind of like a fake bob. Yeah. So anyways, back to Affirmations of the Everyday Goddess. I've tried to do this review like I said 3 times already, so let's see if this one sticks. So this is the box that it comes in, and it's a hard box. It comes apart. It's really nice. This is the collector's edition, so I don't know if there's a different version that doesn't come in such a nice box. I'm not really sure. So I figured I would do a review, and then I would start pulling daily cards and do the meditations. So the way that this works is there's the only 22 higher arcana. And these are supposed to be for like meditation. So you're supposed to pull a card, look at the meaning, kind of meditate on the meaning of the card, and kind of incorporate that into your life. So this is not really for doing readings with or anything along those lines. This is more for like meditating on the meanings of the cards and maybe aspects you need to bring into your life, things of that nature. So I really like the back of the card. You can see it's got really nice like the cheetah on it, and then, you know, the jungle is really nice. So, they're big, they're large cards. I mean, they're bigger than that's my hand. So, like, my whole hand is kind of hidden behind these. So, I have little bitty hands. So, but they're large cards. They're really glossy. Although, I've been using them a lot, so, I'm starting to, oil up the gloss or whatever. And I don't know if you've noticed, but with cards that get used a lot, because of the oils in your hands and the dirt and all that, the gloss kind of gets rubbed away, and then they get this kind of a textured feel. So that's kind of how you can tell new cards from old cards. So because my Tarot of the Cat People, which is my main deck, I've had for over 10 years, and they're not glossy at all anymore because I've used them so much. So what I did first is I pulled cards that I really like the artwork on, and then I pulled cards that I do not like the artwork on, and then I pulled 2 cards that, while the artwork isn't necessarily beautiful, it fits the theme of the card, and doesn't really bother me It's just not necessarily aesthetically pleasing. And you'll see what I mean when I pull that. So my favorite cards out of this deck are the Star. And the artwork is just beautiful on this. The Hanged One. The Hermit. The Chariot. And the Emperor. So these are my favorite. I think these are the ones that have, in my opinion, the prettiest artwork in the deck. So the ones that I think have the ugliest artwork are there's pet peeves in the art that I'm not particularly fond of. With the Fool, the image overall is pretty, but it just seems very unfinished and very CG. And these do look very CG, but this just looks unfinished. It just looks unpolished, and it looks more plasticky. Like the other cards, although they're also CG, they have a more finished quality to them. So, and a lot of these have that I don't particularly care for. So this is an example of it. The Justice is an example of it. It has that super CG quality that I don't particularly care for. It almost seems like the images are rubbery and not realistic enough. And the Lovers have that CG effect, but I also don't particularly care for this particular imagery on the Lovers. I don't really identify with the angel in this image, and it doesn't seem like a genuine, like, Lovers card. If you can see really closely in her hands and the ball are two people that are lovers, but this imagery does not say lovers to me. You know, I see maybe like the Empress or Justice. Yeah, like this image just doesn't speak lovers to me. Like I could see this image being used for maybe another one of the cards. And then the card that I despise the most, and the other cards, you know, the other ugly cards I don't particularly care for. They don't really bother me. They don't make me go, ugh. This card does that to me. This card drives me nuts. And that's the Sun. And the reason why is the face is super CG, while the rest of the card is a little bit more illustrated. And it's just not cohesive. You know, if they would have done a more illustration on the face and made it more, if you're going to make it cartoony, then make, you know, the whole thing cartoony. Or if you're going to make it CG, then make the whole thing CG. But this is like, it's a bad mix of the two, and it just doesn't blend. And the face just kind of creeps me out. Like, it's just not attractive at all. So, the other two cards that I mentioned that are not aesthetically pleasing, but the imagery doesn't particularly bother me, is the Tower. The Tower, it's just not a pretty card in any way, shape, or form. Now, it's the Tower, so it doesn't necessarily have to be pretty. I also feel like this is a weird mix of CG and illustration that just doesn't really... It's not really cohesive. It doesn't really, you know, explain what's going on. Like, it's got this black blob around the tower, and you're like, okay, what is that blob? Is that, you know, is it like the mountain that the tower is carved out of? Is it, you know, shadow coming up over the tower? Like, what is that? And I think that's what annoys me about this. That and the flames don't look realistic at all. Like, you can do realistic looking flames in CG, you can do realistic looking frames in illustration. You know, my fiance Rocky is an artist and is a very good artist. So I'm very particular about my art because, well, I know what good art looks like because I live with and work with a very fabulous artist. So the overall artwork is just bleh. It's just blah. And it also kind of looks like the Tower of Sauron, especially the eye above it from Lord of the Rings. But it doesn't really bother me because it is the tower. It's supposed to be kind of, you know, a dark card. So, but the overall imagery is just not, I just don't like it. It's not, there's no clean lines. There's no, it's hard to tell what's going on in the image. So, the funny thing is though, although this artwork is technically, in my opinion, worse than the sun, I like this card better because the sun is just, that face on the sun is just creepy, 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 and it distracts me from the meaning of the card. Versus, although this artwork is not attractive and I think it's very bad artwork, it does symbolize the meaning of the card, and so I can still kind of focus on the meaning of the card. The other one that I don't particularly care for, and again it kind of has that bad mix of CG and illustration, is the Devil card. And the Devil card is very yonic. For those of you who don't know what yonic is, I just actually learned this word this year and it's become my favorite word. It's the female version of phallic. So when someone describes something as being very phallic, you know what that means. I sincerely hope you know what that means. Like, the Washington Monument is very phallic. Bullets are phallic. Guns are phallic. So this is the female version of phallic or yonic. So it looks very much like a yoni. And I think part of that is what bothers me because it is the Devil card. And I don't like the fact that there's female imagery being used in the Devil card. I think there's enough negative associations between female imagery and the Devil that we don't really need it in our tarot cards. You know, let's move away from that. This is, you know, the 21st century. We don't need to be kind of carrying through these old negative stereotypes. Besides that, and it looks like this yonic thing is giving birth to the Devil, and then, you know, then you've got the two nude lovers beneath her as her slaves. Besides that, the imagery actually really fits the card, and again, because the imagery fits the card, besides the artwork not being aesthetically pleasing and a bad mix of CG and illustration, it doesn't bother me as much as the sun because it fits the imagery of the meaning of the card. So, the rest of the cards, I haven't showed you all 22 cards. The rest of the cards are good. You know, I picked my favorite and my least favorite. So the rest of them are kind of like, you pass. You know, it comes with a very thick book of explanations, and I have a card in here for the daily draw. It comes with a big thick of explanations. This book is over 100 pages, and it has like the black and white images of the cards in the book, so you can, as it describes it, you can also look at the images. It's got different quotes and poems and other things of that nature. So overall, I do like this set a lot. You know, I do have a pet peeve with some of the artwork, but I'm not gonna like the artwork, and I'm not gonna like all the artwork in every deck. You know, except for maybe my Tarot of the Cat People deck. I love that deck so much. So, and the more I use it, the more I fall in love with it. So that's my review on this deck. It's a meditation deck. It's not meant to be used for readings. It's meant for like inner guidance and meditation and kind of working on those things. So I'm going to go ahead and do the next video, which is the draw meditation card and do that. So thank you guys for watching this review, and there's going to be 22 more videos because I'm going to go through each card individually with you guys. So thank you for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.
Meow.